The plot thickens. The sun dipped below the horizon, painting the quiet Kent coastal town of Whitstone in dreamy hues of orange and lavender. Gabriel, a successful writer renowned for his intricate crime novels, had just returned from his evening exercise class, feeling every bit the urban novelist marooned in a quaint English seaside town. As he pushed open the door to his cottage, his eyes were instantly met by the striking silhouette of his feline muse, Mrs. Slocum, a fluffy gray tabby with a penchant for mischief that had garnered her internet fame. "Did you miss me, my little celebrity?" Gabriel chuckled, dropping his gym bag by the door. Mrs. Slocum blinked languidly, unfazed by his enthusiasm, and began to groom herself, evidently unimpressed with his sweaty state. Stretching his arms above his head, Gabriel ambled to the kitchen, pondering over his current manuscript, a complex tale involving a misleading heir, a secret passage, and a murder with several suspects. Little did he know, Whitstone was about to present a far more intricate plot than anything he could conjure from the comfort of his desk. Might need to add an intermingling of crime, he mumbled as an urgent rapping on his front door interrupted his thoughts. The knot in his stomach tightened as he approached the door, half expecting it to be a fan or a neighbor. Instead, standing in his doorway were two officers clad in dark blue uniforms. "Good evening, Gabriel," one of them said, glancing around as if to ensure propriety in the neighborly small-town scene. "I'm Officer Thompson, and this is Officer Morgan. We need your help." "What's happened?" Gabriel asked, heart racing. He had spent years weaving threads of malevolent intrigue in his stories, but the thought of it becoming reality sent a chill down his spine. "There's been a series of burglaries and a recent assault down at the pier. The attacker has eluded us thanks to crowds. We believe you might have some insights due to your knack for detail." Thompson shifted nervously, the words rolling off his tongue with an unusual urgency. Gabriel felt a surge of purpose. This wasn't the first time his writing had intertwined with reality. But unlike the safe confines of his fiction, this was serious, and it was unfolding just outside his door. "What do you want me to do?" "Help us analyze the latest attack. There's a security camera that could yield crucial information, but it's unclear. It's set to record over 8 hours of footage. We need someone with your observational skills to spot anything peculiar." With a nod of determination, Gabriel followed the officers to the edge of town where the salty breeze beckoned from the nearby pier. He marveled at the unfolding cinematic drama. The police station's hubbub contrasted with the eerie quiet of the dock, where the moonlight shimmered on the water's surface like whispered secrets. "I brought you the footage, Gabriel," Officer Morgan said, ushering him into a makeshift command center set up in a small surveillance trailer. "With your eye for detail, you'll be better equipped to sift through it." Gabriel sat in front of the screen, mind racing as he combed through the hours of grainy video. Flickering images of people unrelated to the case crawled past. After poring over minutes that felt like hours, a flash of movement snared his attention. A figure darting down the pier, just at the edge of the frame, a bag clutched tightly in hand. "Pause that!" he shouted, making the officers jump. "Rewind. There! Who's that?" They stared at the screen, their eyes narrowed in concentration. Gabriel leaned closer, spotting a familiar detail, an unmistakable scar on the arm of the figure. A detail only a keen eye could notice, remnants of a dark past. "His name is Lee Carter," Officer Thompson said, his expression suddenly solemn. "A local with a history. We had him in questioning before." "There's your suspect," Gabriel said, heart racing. "A motive can be created from bitterness. Perhaps he wanted revenge for a past grievance. It has all the components of a classic setup." As the officers followed his lead, Gabriel's heart swelled with a sense of purpose. Within days, Lee Carter was apprehended, turned over by his own selfish greed and unmistakable traits that Gabriel had spotted from the ether of his criminal imagination. Returning home, Gabriel found Mrs. Slocum perched on his desk, as if waiting for him. "Well, my dear," he said with a triumphant smile, settling into his chair while scratching behind her ear. "Looks like none of my plots could compare to real life." That night, as he began weaving the threads of a new story inspired by his soon-to-be bestseller, he couldn't help but appreciate the curious order that had emerged from such chaos. the intricate tapestry of crime no author could ever fully imagine until they had lived through it themselves. In Whitstone, as the waves lapped gently against the shore, the small town unraveling had confirmed one universal truth. All plots, whether fiction or reality, could twist and turn with dizzying complexity, yet there was always a detective, a narrative, yearning for resolution. In that evening, Gabriel had not only become a writer of stories, but also of truth.